sitting for 2 days waiting for a load that pays worth a crap. On this episode of
the Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and furry studio audience. That is Rusty, the world famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Alright, what is today? Tuesday, the 15th of November. I'm still in Denton, Texas. Had that load that picked up in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Got me out of the house. A second pickup in Burlington, Iowa. And then all the way down here to Denton, Texas for Saturday night at 11 p.m. Being an Aldi distribution center, grocery warehouse. Of course, they took all night. They took until about, I guess I got out of there. They got me done officially around, it was like 5:30 in the morning. Well, at that point, I only needed to wait out another hour or so to do a, split. So I went ahead and did that. And the funny thing is, there was another guy came and knocked on my door and said, well, I'm supposed to be in this door. And I'm like, okay, well, but they haven't called me and told me my paperwork's ready yet. And so I got out of the truck. I walked with that guy back to the guard shack. And we walked in and he said, well, this guy's in my door that you gave me. And she said, well, I have his paperwork, but I haven't had a chance to call him yet. It's still going to be a few minutes. Anyway, so I walked back to the truck and she said, well, can you just go ahead and pull out of that door? I was like, well, yeah, I can. Thanks for asking nicely. So I pulled out of the door and just pulled to the side. And there was this other truck that was kind of sitting in front of some other trailers indoors that had gone and talked to that guy who was trying to get in my door. And then they came over and talked to me, a couple of Asian guys, and the one guy came up and said, can you help me, sir? I've been trying to get into this door for 2 hours. I can't, So he had, granted, the door he was trying to back into was down at the end. It was door number 3, and it was close where you couldn't do the traditional pull-up and the 45, like I showed you in my last video when I was backing into that door in Salt Lake City, okay? Where if you can get your drive tires right by where you want to be, you go 45 degrees to the right, and then you go back to the left, and it puts your ass into your trailer right where you want it to be, so you can just kind of back up from there. Well, you couldn't do that because the parking lot ended. So you're going to have to do a blind side back to get into that door. And he said he'd been trying for 2 hours. And I'm like, all right, I'll come help you. So I walked over and looked at it and looked at what he had to do. And I said, look, do you want me just to hop into your truck and back it in for you? And he was, oh, please, sir. Oh, please, thank you so much. Fine. So I did. Hopped into his truck. It was an automatic. I've never dealt with an automatic truck before. Mine is a 13-speed. All right, so here's my shifter. It's a 13-speed Eaton Fuller, and you have this little thing right here. You can click up and down. All right, that's for after your first 4 gears. And you got the side switch right here, which you click when you want. I can't move it right now. When you're doing the half gears. So 13-speed is what it's called. Best transmission, in my opinion, for a truck. There's the 10-speed. I've never liked those because the lower gears, you just don't have enough between the gears, and I like having that little red switch I showed you kind of splits the upper gears, so when you're climbing a hill you can just drop it a half gear is essentially what's happening. So anyway, I've never dealt with an automatic before, and so an automatic big truck, so it has drive, neutral, and reverse, and I'm looking at that going, where's the park? And then this guy, he's in the passenger seat, he's pointing to the yellow airline or air release for the brakes. That's this one right here. You see that? That release, this is where a lot of people get this wrong. When you pull it out, that engages your parking brakes. A lot of people say, well, that's releasing. No. And I've got the other knob. This is for the trailer. And this feeds air to the trailer. When it's pulled out, the trailer brakes automatically engage. All right, so it's kind of the opposite. When you pull this one out, you've engaged your parking brakes on the truck. So of course it finally dawns on me, right, you don't have a park like you'd have in an automatic car where you put it up into park, because you just have to pull your brakes. So I'd never driven an automatic big truck before, so that was kind of new to me. So anyway, I tried doing the traditional back once, and there just wasn't enough pavement to do it. So I said, all right, we have to do a blindside back. Got pulled all the way around and started backing up a little bit. And this is where you gotta, if you're gonna do it right, you gotta hop out and look. As they put on a lot of the mirrors on a lot of the trucks, GOAL, G-O-A-L, get out and look. So once I got it basically into position with the trailer, the ass end of the trailer to the right spot, I had to get out and look, make sure I was gonna be good. Backed up a little bit, then I had to go forward a little bit, back a little bit, and then forward again. Kind of like I did in that, my last video, like I say, in Salt Lake City. But you're doing it the opposite direction where you can't really see. It's called a blindside back. But I got it into the hole, as we call it. Get it in the hole and into the door and parked it. And he was like, oh, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. His partner, his co-driver, who's also brand new to trucking, was outside videotaping the whole thing. So I thought that was kind of funny. And of course, that reminds me of a story years ago when I was in Gretna, Nebraska at the Flying J, which is the spots there are really, really tight. I know it took me quite a while to get into it. And I got backed in, and there was a guy trying to back in next to me, and he kept trying and trying and trying. And he kept, almost hitting me. And I finally jumped out and I said, look, you want me to park your truck for you? And again, he was, oh, please, please. So I did. And after I parked his truck, I had guys lining up. I made $120 that night parking people's trucks for them into the spots. I charged 20 a pop. So after I got delivered there at the Aldi, like I say, early Sunday morning, moved back over here to the TA in Denton, Texas. This one is a complete cluster mug. And they charge $26 a night to park here. Luckily, I had a whole bunch of Ultra credits built up. So I had reserved one for Saturday night in case Aldi got me out early, which they did not. But I came over here and parked in a reserved spot Sunday morning, and then just hung out, and then went to bed early. Blah blah blah. Monday, I got up early, started hitting the boards, the DAT board, trying to find loads. And stuff out of Texas right now is terrible. They're paying $1.10, $1.20 a mile, And Mark kept telling me, well, you just need to pull the trigger and book something. I'm like, if I can find something for $1.50 a mile, that'd be great, but I can't. Trying to get to a better area. So, of course, this is my fault for coming here. But I took a load out of Cheyenne at $2 a mile. And, my fault, still learning. I went to a bad area again. And so that's what I'm trying to resolve. But I'm not willing to drive and pay for it, like I had to do a few times with Turquoise. I'm just not willing to do it. So Monday came and went. I was on the phone 11 hours that day trying to find a load. Couldn't find anything decent. Then tried again today, Tuesday, the 15th. And we had one we thought was booked. And then all of us, it was supposed to pick up by 2 p.m., going to Des Moines, a hazmat load. Well, then there was trouble with that. And so in the meantime, while waiting, we're like, okay, we need to start looking for something else. So finally found another hazmat load that now I can't mention because of, where it's picking up and where it's going, but going to a much better area. Not paying all that great for a hazmat load, but gets me to a better area. Hopefully that'll, over the weekend, I'll get something else to get me going further east. And then next week, the goal is then to get back home for Thanksgiving. What do you think? But the rates are bottoming out, baby. They're terrible. They're just absolutely awful. Most of them are not even paying enough for the fuel. And I've said over and over, it costs up to about $1.25 a mile for the fuel on these trucks. Add in insurance and maintenance and all that. It's just scary right now. So we're hoping all this will get rid of all the guys who are bad at math and keep taking the cheap loads, so maybe they'll go away. So maybe next year we can do better. We can only hope. But traditionally, the first couple of months of the year are terrible too. So who knows? All right, so got a load, picking up tomorrow, going to Illinois. That's about all I can say. And hopefully it puts me in a better place so that I can still make some money before Thanksgiving when I go home and hang out with the fam and do some turkey and mashed potatoes and all that kind of stuff. What do you think? So I've been sitting here at the TA in Denton, Texas since Sunday morning. If there's any good point in this, I did get some Boston Market. They have a Boston Market here. Not many of those left. Boston Market, years ago, were trying to expand so quickly, they expanded too fast, and they had to shut down a lot of their locations, but had a great little bowl. They have chicken, mashed potatoes, corn, gravy. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I'm still learning on booking my own loads. You know, I'm new to this, and yeah, I put myself in a bad area, and that's my fault, which I've been told clearly. But you know, trying to make the best of it. I wasn't going to drive cheap, and that's what it comes down to. So hopefully we'll be in a better area in the next couple of days, and can keep making some money. That's the whole goal. There's no point in being out here if I'm not making money. I can get a lousy job at home and make lousy money. So that's what we're trying to do. Well, thanks for tuning in for that one. Yeah, not a lot to show you. We've been sitting here for well, over 2 days, but at least we got something that's getting us to a good area, and hopefully that'll get us, you know, then maybe something else over the weekend, and then the goal is to get back home for Thanksgiving. What do you think? So there you go. All right, so yeah, we're not going to run for super cheap. Just not worth it. You know, there's no point in moving the truck if it's going to cost you money. Right, Rusty? Oh, big yawn. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please like and comment. Get to your comments as soon as I can. Sometimes takes a few days because I'm a working truck driver. Clutch Trucker at Instagram. Clutch Trucker at Twitter. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty. Out. Do you want the cancer? Do I what? Do you want the can, sir? Oh, no. I'm good. Thank you. All right, Rusty, it's over here. Come down. You gotta start down here. Oh, there it goes. He's all over it. Why? Because he's a beg and strip dog. He's a beg and strip dog. Sometimes he eats too fast and he starts to cough. He's a beg and strip dog. Or the alternate song. What was it? It was to the Grinch song. I can't remember how it goes now. All right, well, we'll come up with that one for the next video. All right, Rusty loving his beg and strip. Oh, yes. Still got more down there, buddy. Yeah, those thick cut ones are a little bit harder to munch down, aren't they? But you love them. You love them. Crack cocaine for a dog, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Did you get it all? All right. Oh, you're still munching. Come on, let's get the happy dog look. Rusty, up here. Come on, buddy, look up here. Rusty, come on. Hello.